Alright, let's dive into this because it's a move that's got the hockey world talking. Daniil Miromanov, the defenseman who's been bouncing between the NHL and AHL, has officially signed a 2-year deal with SKA St. Petersburg in the KHL. And honestly, this is one of those moves that feels like it's loaded with meaning, both for Miromanov and for the broader hockey landscape. So, let's break it down. First off, what makes this really interesting is the timing. Miromanov's NHL journey hasn't exactly been smooth sailing. After breaking into the league with the Vegas Golden Knights in 2021, he found himself traded to the Flames in 2024. But here's the thing, despite showing flashes of potential, he spent most of this past season in the AHL. Personally, I think this move to the KHL is less about giving up on the NHL and more about Miromanov taking control of his career. In the KHL, he's not just another seventh defenseman, he's a player who can step into a prominent role, and that's huge for a guy in his prime. Now, let's talk about SKA St. Petersburg. This team is no joke. They're one of the KHL's powerhouse franchises, and they've got a roster stacked with former NHL and AHL talent. Guys like Nikita Zaitsev, Rocco Grimaldi, and Nikolai Goldobin are already there. Adding Miromanov to that mix? It's like they're building a super team, but what's fascinating is how this reflects a broader trend. The KHL is increasingly becoming a destination for players who want more ice time, more responsibility, and maybe even a shot at international glory. It's not just a fallback option, it's a legitimate career choice. One thing that immediately stands out is Miromanov's potential impact on SKA's blue line. He's a big, right-shot defenseman with offensive upside. In the AHL this season, he put up 38 points in 66 games, which is no small feat, but here's where it gets intriguing. In the KHL, he'll likely be given even more freedom to contribute offensively. From my perspective, this could be a breakout moment for him. If he thrives in St. Petersburg, it wouldn't be shocking to see NHL teams come calling again in a few years. What many people don't realize is how this move also speaks to the evolving relationship between the NHL and KHL. For years, the NHL has been seen as the pinnacle of hockey, but the KHL is proving it's more than just a feeder league. Players like Miromanov are choosing the KHL not because they can't make it in the NHL, but because they see opportunities there that the NHL can't offer. It's a shift in the power dynamic, and it's something I think we'll see more of in the coming years. If you take a step back and think about it, this move also raises questions about Miromanov's NHL career. Could he have stuck around if he'd taken a league minimum contract? Maybe. But here's the thing, the NHL is brutal, especially for players on the bubble. Miromanov would have likely been fighting for a 7th defenseman spot again, and that's not a great place to be at 28 years old. In the KHL, he's not just fighting for a spot, he's fighting for a legacy. And that, in my opinion, is what makes this move so compelling. A detail I find fascinating is how this aligns with Miromanov's personal story. He's Russian, and while he's spent years chasing the NHL dream, there's something poetic about him returning home to play in one of the most prestigious leagues in the world. It's not just a career move, it's a homecoming. And in a sport where players often sacrifice so much for their careers, that's a narrative that resonates. What this really suggests is that the hockey world is becoming more interconnected than ever. Players aren't just limited to the NHL or AHL, they've got options. And as someone who's followed this sport for years, I find that incredibly exciting. It's not just about where you play, it's about how you play and what you want to achieve. Miromanov's move to the KHL is a reminder that sometimes, the best path forward isn't the one everyone expects. So, here's my closing thought. Daniil Miromanov signing with SKA St. Petersburg isn't just a transaction, it's a statement. It's about a player taking control of his career, a league asserting its relevance, and a sport that's evolving in real time. And honestly, I can't wait to see how this plays out. What do you think? Is this a smart move for Miromanov, or is he leaving the NHL too soon? Let me know in the comments below.